Honestly, I swear, look at this. I'm so proud of this right now. I took such great care because the reason why is because I've made a gazillion, not a gazillion, all right? That's an exaggeration, but I've made a whole lot, lot of loaves of bread trying to make it perfect. And I never can get it exactly right. It's always like kind of dense on the bottom. There are the really specific techniques that you must utilize when you're trying to, make this homemade bread without a, bread machine and stuff. There's really specific things that you need to do that they don't always tell you in all the YouTube videos. Like you can watch the women doing it on the YouTube videos and then just follow exactly what they say, and you're like, wait a minute, why does mine not look like that? Look at how good this one came out. And on all sides, it like the exact same color, even on the bottom. I mean, no side is darker than another. They say knock it on the bottom to it sounds hollow. I don't even know what that means. I do not know what that means. I'm letting this cool off. Since my problem is always that it, I have like the top half of the bread, if I sliced it like sandwich bread, right? The top half looks like a perfect sandwich bread, and then the bottom half is all like dense and gooey, but it still tastes really good. I always also thought that because it was so dense and like, wet, that maybe that I shouldn't be eating that. So I would always throw those loaves away. Like, what a dummy. I didn't learn until today that it's perfectly fine to eat that. And I'm telling you, the flavor's there. Let's get that right. Chef Ramsay would tell me the flavor's there. But I have just always had that issue. After like such, I mean, it's been like, I don't know, I would say at least 2 years. Not like I'm making bread every single day, but it's got to be at least 2 years. Um, that I really am trying to whittle down what the problems are. The YouTube videos are extremely helpful, but they're not like it's like I wonder why they do that, because they know things like one of the things is that you cannot let salt touch the yeast. You cannot let salt touch the yeast, or that will ruin fucking everything. Um, there's a lot of particular things about like having to when you're going to proof it the first time, and you have to oil the pan, or sometimes and then you're going to proof it a second time if you want sandwich bread, but you don't need to proof it a second time if you're only making a loaf that will stay in there. There's just details that they do not tell you. And I've watched so many of these videos, and it almost seems to me like they must be, especially like the women that seem to have a lot of followers and stuff. Yes, some of them have, you know, more of a following for a reason. Some of them are more specific. It, it, I found one woman whose, recipes are generally pretty good, but as far as the technique goes, she doesn't tell you enough. She just looks like she throws everything into the mixing bowl, and then that's it. She whips it up in a minute. And it comes out looking perfect like this. And I don't care about these kind of imperfections. Like his little bulbous Frankenstein head. I don't care about that. It looks pretty perfect to me. I mean, Joe, freaking A, Skippy. Oh, what more could I ask for? Well, I'll tell you what more I could ask for. I could ask for that when I cut this, and and I'm telling you, even I am not the first one to pat myself on the back. But I will pat myself on the back when it's True. When I deserve it. Um, but I mean, I've tried for so long. Well, if it comes out now, at least I know now, after all this time, that if it still comes out a little dense on the bottom, well, fuck it. I can still eat that and it's fine. It's like, yay. Because it always tastes freaking delish. Just not, there's been something preventing me from getting like I'm creating pockets of steam under there, and that's why the bottom isn't getting baked enough. And these are the little details where you have to be minuscule in what you're doing, from mixer to oven. There's a bunch of details in there that none of those YouTube cooking ladies tell you. Not one single goddamn one of them. And I've watched them all. And I'll like take things from, the one woman that I really like I'll take a lot of stuff from hers, and then maybe I'll incorporate something somebody else said, because, the woman that I really like, she left something. They all, then I come to realize after 2 years of research and 29 tries of making a loaf of bread. I even tried English muffins once. Those didn't come out half bad. That was that one YouTuber. Her name was Jenny something. She always makes a little joke. She looks like some familiar actress. Anyway, but she's good. She's got. When I followed pretty closely her uh instructions, and just really literally followed her video for making the English muffins, and I did those early on in my bread baking career, they came out okay, kind of okay. I They were a little dense too, but I'll tell you probably what I realize now, because like I said, I did those early on in my bread baking career. I If I were to bake those the same exact way today, I would say to myself, that is a pretty freaking good first try, motherfucker. I mean, because now looking back on it, what I thought it's really sucked just because it wasn't perfect, I actually realize now, after all this learning, that was actually a really good first try. They require a lot of, I have to be in a special mood to try those again, though. They were very specific. And not that it wasn't fun, it was fun. But I thought I fucked it all up, and I didn't. So you know what? I should just go back and do it anyway. Because I'll probably... Uh, anyway, this is, psychology. And me psychoanalyzing myself through my baking. Welcome to your therapy, your baking therapy class. But I learn a lot about myself and my own character while I'm doing these things. Um, and you know what? I definitely will not cut this before it's totally cooled off. I always tell myself that, but warm bread is such I just love warm bread so much, and even that gooey center, I wouldn't mind that when it's smeared with butter and it's nice and warm. Yum. But this one looks really in particularly perfect, so I'm gonna let this go. And yeah, I'm learning a lot. I continue to learn a lot. I'm still evolving, still growing as a human being. Or maybe not.